How we doing today, man? Today's one of those days that I just want to talk about why it's so hard to become profitable trading. What keeps people holding myself back, right? You guys might make the same mistake. I'm just talking out of my perspective, right? And I'm assuming a lot of people go through the same mistakes. So we break even. We took one trade on the accounts. We got break even on both accounts. We just went short on this IFVG, right? We swept this high inside a 15-minute gap after just chopping around a lot. We got immediate displacement, inverse this move. I like that when we inverse these big just ram candles. I went break even at this low just because I have choppy price was. We ran through, didn't hit any take profits, and stopped me at break even. I'm cool with that, right? And that's a big thing that I want to talk about, which is learning to be fine with days like this, right? Days like this where you don't make any money. What are some things that hold me back from having days where I just turn off the charts or I just don't take a trade? You can see I'm locked out of the account. I'm not taking the trade on this account. These ones don't have the lockout feature. At least I don't know how, but unless something really beautiful comes, I'm probably done for the day. And the reason why so many people fail at trading, so many people, myself included, again, I'm talking from my own perspective. The reason why I failed at trading for so long and still will struggle sometimes is I don't know when to just step away. When to say, you know what, price action is bad. You know what, there's better days. Look at this chart right here. This is from 940, that's basically market open, all the way till 11 o'clock. We've gone in a 39-point range. Overnight, we were in a 50-point range. We were in a 53-point range. We are just range bound. There's no volatility. The market is crazy slow right now. Wait, we're at all-time highs. There's no real bias. Yes, we could short. Yes, we could long. There's really nothing clear. There's literally nothing clear. We're just chopping both sides. And these are days where if you blow accounts, there's no reason for it, right? Maybe you take a loss because, again, this is not a terrible short. I don't mind taking that short. But what do I not need to do? I don't need to get in on this short, get stopped out, flip to longs, then flip to short, then, do all these different things because this is how you get chopped up. This is how you lose for $300. Last Tuesday, it's crazy. It's Tuesday today. Last Tuesday, I had a day where I shouldn't have been trading. I took one loss and I took two more losses. So I took 3 losses and that had my P&L for the week negative on my Apex accounts, right? We got lucky because we gambled and made it back on these accounts, but we should have been negative last week, right? And that being said, if I just stepped away after the first loss, I would have made it all back the next trading day, right? On Thursday, I had a great trading day. I would have made it all back that day. And then Friday, I still did good as well. So I could have made it all back easily and more just trading normally if I just stepped away on one loss. And that's the biggest thing right now that I just still struggle with. I struggle to get myself to not overtrade today, right? To not spam trades. I took one trade, and I don't mind it. I maybe wish I didn't even trade because just practicing the habits and not pushing the button. But I took one trade. I'm not going to sit here and try and force feed trades. I'm not going to. I'm just going to log out of these accounts here, break even on the day. One stab, I'm logging out. I'm not going to touch these accounts. Why? Because there's always another opportunity tomorrow. And that's the biggest thing with trading that is just very hard to process is that there's another day tomorrow. There's another setup, right? If a great setup loses, when this fair value gap was right here, we made an SMT at this low and we started displacing through it. This would have been an A+++ long. If it would have lost, it would have been a great loss. if it won, it would have been a great win. We had equal highs, a 15-minute gap. I was going to hammer this trade. Then we chop. We swept here on this order block and we displaced. I was going to take it again here. And then we chop, right? When we come back down, again, this one looks good, but then never inversed. So I was like, you know what? That was a clear sign right here that there was going to be no good trades for the day, right? When we didn't displace through. So I said, cool, probably a no trade day. I should have just not taken a trade, but I took a stab at shorts, right? It's not the end of the world. But what would be the end of the world is just sitting here and giving up profits all day, right? Just sitting here trading, right? And that's the hardest part. That's the biggest mistake I saw with myself for so long was my losing days were way too big. And the common theme between those losing days was I was taking trades that were stupid, trades I should never be looking to take, trades that didn't even make sense in the markets, right? The market didn't give me an opportunity to make money that day, and I decided to push a button, and I wanted to make money. Why? Because we're so concerned with making money. I really want to get a payout from these accounts. I have a $950 balance and I have a $1,300 balance. Right there, I have about $1,000, right? If you take a 50% split, right there, I have about $1,100, right? That it could be mine if I can get the winning days. So I want that money. I want that money in my bank account. Why? Because then it means I can buy myself anything I want, right? Which would be probably more funded. And because I desire the money, right? Because I desire $1,000 into my bank account, Any day that I don't get to make $200 on these accounts feels like a day further away from $1,000. It's like if someone told you, hey, I'm going to give you $1,000, right? It's not like it's a given. It's not guaranteed. But if someone said, hey, I'm going to give you $1,000, right? You just have to do something 4 times, 4 different days, right? You'd probably want to do it 4 days straight, right? If someone says, hey, I'll give you $1,000 this week, right? $1,000 a week is really good money. If someone said, I'll give you $1,000, you just have to, do this easy thing. It takes 30 minutes in the day, right? From 9 o'clock to 11, you can do it anytime in that window, right? But if you don't get it done in that time period before 11, then you can't do it that day, right? That day's over. You don't have a chance to get it. So what's going to end up happening, right? What's going to end up happening is that you're going to be sitting there, and when it's getting closer to your time window expiring and the price is not moving around, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to waste this day, because I want that $1,000 by the end of this week. I want this as soon as possible. I can do it in 4 days. I only need 4 more winning days. Let me get this done. Let me get my $1,000. It gets towards 11, or it's looking choppy. It's looking like a no trade day. What does that do mentally for you? It says, well, today, I can't even make any progress. I want to be 3 days away. I'm only 2 days away. I want to get that payout. I want that money for myself. So what do? You take a bad setup and then you lose. Or maybe you take a good setup and you lose. And guess what? Now you're down. But what do you need? $200 days. You don't need profit every day, right? So what happens then is you convince yourself, well, now I just want that money back because I want 1,000 at the end of the week. I don't want 900 at the end of the week. I want 1,000 because I earned 1,000, right? I have 1,000 right now, and I want the 1,000. So if you lose 100 in each account, 200 in each account, you're like, man, screw that. I want that money back. So you try and go and get it now because you want it back at the end. Because he also says, if you do this job and you lose money, right? Whatever you lose comes out of your payout, right? Comes out of what you're getting. So then you say, you know what? I lost money, but who said I can't get it back right now? Because then hey, if I lose money one day, but I win all the other days, right? That's 5 days instead of 4. But that's also that losing day is coming out of your payout. So you say, you know what? I don't want a losing day. I don't want it. So you're in this unprofitable cycle of wanting to trade every single day, wanting to take every single opportunity, wanting to make progress every single day, because these prop firms are designed to make you want to trade every day. Every single day is not a trading day for every single person, right? These prop firms are designed to make you say, oh my gosh, I need to get a trade today. Why? Because I'm trying to get my buffer built. I'm trying to get my payout days. I'm trying to get my trading days. I'm trying to get my eval pass. I'm like this far away. My rebills tomorrow, or my rebills next week, and I want to make sure I'm like 1,000 away. And I've never passed before, but I don't want to have to pay another $50. So let me just try and force a trade this week if I don't see one, because I want to make $1,000, right? Instead of letting the market give you the opportunity, right? What was so nice yesterday? Yesterday just gave us really good price action, really easy trades. Let's look at yesterday, right? What happened yesterday? It just gave us a perfect setup that printed, right? And it won. And then what happens? It gives you another setup that won. So if you just took those 2 trades, you're chilling, right? But we forget so easily. We're very short-sighted creatures. As human beings, we're very short-minded, very, very quick to just, want to keep trading, right? And good thing I logged out of the accounts, because this looks like a potential fun setup, right? But why is it not good? Because we've just been chopping, man. Like, why would we rip now? Besides the fact that ES is below the lows, right? But, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to take it, obviously. But that's the thing. We get in our heads about wanting to trade every single day, wanting to succeed, wanting to get a new goal. But this is what it's designed to do. It's designed to rush you, to force you into never wanting to lose, right? It's built on your failure, right? Prop firms wouldn't survive if you didn't fail all the time. All the time. If you weren't continuously buying new accounts, buying evals, paying activation fees, paying reset fees, they wouldn't be able to pay people out. They just wouldn't. So when you realize these things, they don't want you to win. And not that they want you to lose, but they don't want you to win, right? So if their business is on you failing, right, try and figure out why. How are they profiting? How are they making so many people fail? If trading is so simple, because it can be so simple. It can just be patience, setup, easy setups. Dude, IFTGs are the easiest thing if you just be patient and know when and when not to use them, right? Let's paper trade this thing.
Order filled.
Paper trade on this IFEG. But then you can just say, okay, I know prop firms want to get the best of me, right? I know props want to take advantage of me as a trader. Let's just see if we could have got the $200 a day. We'll take profit actually like we normally would. So then you ask yourself, okay, what is a prop trying to do to take advantage of me as a trader, right? Well, they're trying to put time in my head. I have to get this amount. I want my payout by the end of this month. I want this. I want my weekly balance. What else do? They have the buffer, the drawdown. They have the trailing drawdown. So you make money, it doesn't even feel like you made money, right? If I go on this account, well, I'm just going to let this trade play out here on this screen. But let's just say like this is a real account, right? Let's just say that I have this 150K and it wasn't practice. Right, let's say it's not practice, right? My max loss limit, I have $2,000 buffer. So let's just say I started and it's a fresh account, right? Let's say I make $100, right? It doesn't mean I added $100. I still only have $2,000 I can lose if I'm on a 50K account, right? So you're never really building a buffer. You're never really getting more drawdown. You're never really building until you get past the buffer. Then yes, but these props are just built on human emotion. I want to build my buffer up. When you do take a win, it doesn't feel like that much of a win because guess what? If you didn't hit the $200 a day, you can't withdraw. If you're not on day 5, you can't withdraw. If you don't have a buffer built, you can't withdraw. So it's just like all these different hoops and hurdles you got to jump through are designed for you to fail. So you have to recognize that and say, look, this is built for me to fail. Now how can I re-engineer this so I can win, right? And what do? You say, you know what? I don't need to trade every single day. I don't have to get a $200 a day every single time I trade. I can step away on a loss, right? And I don't have to worry about how big my wins are. I just have to trade the charts. That's all you're doing. Trade the charts with proper risk management. Don't over leverage. Just take good setups and you'll get rewarded. So I see myself failing for so long because I avoid to just not trade days, right? Because, oh my gosh, this setup, right? I would be entering on this setup on my real account because what? Because, oh my gosh, maybe I can make money today. Maybe we could get it to come all the way up there, and then maybe I can make 200. Or maybe if it just is my first take profit, and then I make $30, and then, at least that's something. But you don't think about, hey, do I really want to lose $84, right? We're down 31 now, and it's not looking great. Do I really want to lose that money, right? Because we have been chopping. So I recognize bad conditions. I sit out. I say, you know what? I'm not going to do this. Because, yes, I could have won. You can always win. But you can always lose as well. So you don't want, avoid dumb losses, right? And one big struggle for me, and why I always recommend content creation and documenting the journey, blah, blah, blah. But the one reason I would say it's not good is because I feel this desire, this pressure to keep posting, keep making videos, make videos every day. And I have this understanding that if I don't trade, this video will get less views than, a video where I lose a lot of money or make a lot of money. That's just how it goes, right? So knowing that as a content creator, in a sense, right, I make money off social media. I make about $1,500 a month, which is really, really good for me. It supplements really nicely, and it helps me out a lot. Most of that money coming through affiliate code. So if you guys use Apex code Diego on Apex, My Fund Futures, and Alpha Futures, I really appreciate it. It helps me out. That's where I make most of my money, right? I make about $100 to $200 from YouTube ad revenue, and then the rest is affiliate code. So I really appreciate that because, hey man, it kind of just helps me be transparent, right? It helps me be transparent. My goal is that I can just always document my journey every step of the way, and I can just make money through affiliate codes as like a bonus favor, right? For being transparent and being honest. I appreciate everyone that messes with the message and the goal I have with this channel to show the truth of trading, and hopefully you guys, use my code, right? That's all I can say, right? Use my code. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, I have pressure to want to post every day. Why? Because my code directly gets advertised in these videos, right? You can see it at the bottom, right? So with that, it's like, cool. I have a monetary gain to post every single day, to try and keep posting content, to try and get the most views possible, right? So when I have this dilemma of how do I get the most views, sometimes losing on the day, or sometimes taking a trade just because I know I can make a video, right? And I've gotten away from that. I've stopped doing it as much, but it still weighs on me because my views have dropped since February, March, April. My views were all-time best. That's when I was getting destroyed in the markets, not trading well, losing all the time. So now this trade, I would move my stop loss to this low. But yeah, I used to be, when I was losing all the time and doing the worst, I was actually getting the most views. And then, August, I think my views started coming back a little bit because I was getting my payout, but they still didn't even crack when I was losing. And then now they're just good, like average again, right? Which is fine. But I know that, and I know what's happened is because I've not been crashing out as much. I've not been blowing accounts as much. I haven't blown an account, like a real account. Yeah, I had that blown account on the challenges, right, with Apex, but just full pouring those. I haven't blown an account, legit blown an account since April, May, like that's May, June, July, August, like September. That's like 5 months. I haven't blown an account in 5 months. I've just been training. I'm taking 2 payouts. Like I've been doing better. But there's always been this pressure of, hey, the more videos I get out, the better video, right? Last week I didn't post 2 of the days, right? And it's like, I directly make money. The more people that see my videos, maybe the more person that wants to use my code, right? And I'm competing with all of these people. So that's another secondary thing that's been making me trade worse and keep me unprofitable is social media, right? Social media has held me back a little bit because, I have ulterior motives when I'm in a trade during the day that, hey, maybe I need to get into this trade because at least, like, if I haven't traded for the day and I see a setup, sometimes I'm more likely to take it just because I know I don't have anything to talk about in a video. And that's just being honest. And I'm not saying that's your guys' fault. Obviously, that's my fault. That has everything to do with me, right? But social media is tough it's like the biggest thing I would say for young, like new traders, the reason not to document your journey is not because you're going to get criticism or hate or whatever, but it's because you might start doing well at it. Well as in making money. I mean, I make money from social media that actually hits my bank, that really helps me out. I can buy more funded accounts. I got to pay for my Apex accounts through my payout and then through some affiliate codes, right? So it helps me out. So like really the bigger problem with posting your journey is when it starts working, you start getting money from it, right? Because as creatures, when you start making money, you don't want to lose that money. You don't want to lose that source of income. You don't want to lose that thing, right? If someone was giving you $1,000 a week for doing something, right? But then they stop giving you that much money, it's going to hurt your feelings. It's going to be like, wow, like I want to keep this going. So you're going to do everything you can to get that and get more. And that's something that I've found myself into. And I wouldn't say it's because I'm a greedy person, but it's just because, it gives me something to focus on outside of trading and coaching soccer. It gives me something to work on, something to build towards. And when you're building something, which I'm trying to do with YouTube, I'm trying to grow the channel, I'm trying to grow my brand, I'm trying to do all that stuff, right? When you're trying to grow like that, you subconsciously are putting pressure on yourself to do better, to make more each month, to sell more affiliate codes, to get more views, to get more subscribers. Like it's just like you're playing a ranking, you're trying to level up, you're trying to get better, and maybe it's something to do with trying to prove something to myself, trying to prove something to other people. I don't know, right? But whatever it is, I enjoy it. I enjoy posting videos. I love the community I built. I have a great community. I love you guys that watch my videos. I really do. Like I really appreciate. There's so many of you guys I've met that I would consider like friends, like family. Genuinely, it's weird because sometimes I don't even realize that I actually have an audience at some small scale, right? It's something I've always wanted, something that's always been something cool to me, where it's like, hey, I actually have some sort of impact. Like I don't think that I'm groundbreaking, whatever, but there's been many people that say, hey man, like that just say that I've impacted them in some way, positive, mostly positive, hopefully not negative, but that's crazy to me that I have physically impacted 1 or 2 people. Maybe not many people, right? Most people probably watch this like, get a grip, man. But hey, 1 or 2 people, that's all it takes to be like, wow, that's special, right? So I'm not saying that I regret doing YouTube or anything like that, but I do think that it's kind of made me a little bit split focus, right? My main focus is to become a great trader. Why? Because all I need is $10,000 months, right? And I can get that through trading. I don't need $10,000 months for my code, although that would be nice, although that would help me out, although it would probably make my trading better. I need to focus on my trading because that's what's going to really pay me. Maybe I'm like PW someday and I make 5 figures a day for my affiliate code. That would be great. But I don't know. I think that it's kind of made my trading get to a point where it's like, I want to make content. I want something to talk about. I want to post every day because, again, I check my codes every single day. How much have I made off them? How much have I, and then the days where they don't move at all, right? There'll be days where it's going up and it's like, wow, this is great. And then there'll be like 4 days where I don't get a single commission. I'm like, wow, this This is like, I don't know. And the biggest thing I can say, and you guys experience this with trading, so you guys can relate to this even if you don't post social media. With trading, the reason why it's such a scary job and why it's so mentally draining, same thing with social media, is that you aren't getting paid for your time, right? You're not even getting paid for what you're doing. You could take the same setup. Some days it loses, some days it wins. And you have to be okay with that. Same thing with me. I can post a video. Some days it wins, some days it loses. I don't get to decide, right? Imagine if you were a doctor, right? Imagine if you were a doctor or a teacher, right? When you're in school, I used to have 7 classes in like high school, right? So when you have 7 classes, you have 7 different teachers, right? Imagine if the only way that teacher got paid is by having, throughout the day, you get to say, hey, which teacher do you want to get paid today, right? Which teacher do you want to make money, right? And you pick your favorite teacher. That's kind of how it is with my affiliate code, right? I only make money if, I'm not saying I'm people's favorite, but if someone decides to use my code, which is just very, very nice of them, right? It means that they chose me over TJR, over Dodgy, over over all these people that you could use their codes. You chose mine, right? And it's cool. And then every month when I make more and more, it's like, it's nice, but always this feeling of this could disappear at any moment because I don't have control over that. So right now I'm making money, right? Last month I did my biggest month ever where I made $2,000 online. I made $600 on a payout. I made like $300 from YouTube ad revenue. So that's like about $1,000 there. I made about $1,000 from my affiliate code. That was like, wow. That's like the first time I've actually net gained money on the month instead of like losing or breaking even. And it's cool, but then it's like this sense of fear of like, man, I didn't actually do anything to I don't have any control over if that number grows, drops, completely dies off. And it's just like this anxiety of, hey man, how can I keep making sure that people like my content, that people keep using my code, keep watching it, and I can't control that. But it's the same thing with trading. So we are all working a job where we can't control if the market gives us good opportunities, bad opportunities. So think about that. When you trade, you take a payout, it's like, nice, I got a payout, but you still have to go and get that money next time. You still have to get that trade to win. You still have to get your balance up. You still have to do all these different things just to get paid. So we're in an industry that is so random, right? It's so random. It's not like, again, not like a teacher. They get a guaranteed salary, right? They don't have to decide if a student says, hey, this person I just want them to get paid. They don't have to decide if, all their students pass the test, right? Imagine if teachers only got paid if all their students passed, right? If none of them got bad grades, right? You can't control, you can, so that's like kind of a worse example because the teacher could actually, but let's just say that, I don't know, let's just not use that as an example, but again, as traders, as people post on social media, we aren't doing a job that ever is guaranteed money, right? We're never guaranteed a paycheck. So that's a hard thing with trading because when you're sitting there in the day, you feel like you can control that. You think, you know what, I haven't traded, I can control if I have a chance to make money. So you think, wow, if I don't push a button, I have zero chance of making money today, right? If I don't post a video, I have zero chance of somebody, thinking about using my code. I have zero chance, So you start doing things, taking actions in ways that don't make sense with the overall objective, which is, hey, there's no trade today. I'm not going to trade, right? Or, hey, I took one trade. It's really choppy. I'm just going to call it a day today. It doesn't really look like anything I want to be a part of. And just call it a day, just like today, right? I took one trade. Maybe shouldn't even taken it. And then I say, you know what, there's no other opportunity. I'm not going to stress myself out and take too many trades. And what does that do? I say, hey, look, it looks like it made the right decision. But what is that practicing? It's practicing long-term dopamine, long-term discipline, saying, look, I don't need to trade every day because guess what? There'll be another day. But what happens if you're sitting there and you want to take a trade or you want to keep trading, you took a loss? You're giving into this idea that there's not more time, that you have to have it today, right? That you want to control that you might make money because if you step away on the day and you don't take a trade or you end break even, you end on a loss, the result, right? So it's this, there's this like hope, this whatever of, hey, I don't know if I'm going to lose today but hey, I didn't take a trade. If I step away right now, there's no chance I get the trade. There's no chance. There's no way I make money. So would I rather not make any money or would I rather have a chance to make money? And if you ask anyone that question, you'd say, hey, I'd rather have the chance to make money but you don't understand the consequences of that choice, right? The consequences of that choice to want to make money, that desire to make money, which is, hey, you could actually just lose and you could just go and tilt, and maybe it affects your next week and next week, right? Every decision, every loss is going to impact you further in the week, right? It shouldn't, but hey, you start the Monday with a big loss, right? Tuesday, you're a little bit more scared to take a trade, right? Especially if you took bad trades that you weren't supposed to. So you have to just always be practicing the right things, even if it's not fun, even if it's not going to get you the most clicks on YouTube, even if it's not going to be the most impressive thing, even if you need that money the next day, right? Because guess what? It's not about how each individual day ends. It's really not. It's about saying, hey, I got better today because I didn't take a trade, because I didn't want to trade. I didn't want to keep trading. I didn't want to overtrade. I didn't see anything. Or I recognized, hey, I took one trade, lost. It just didn't look that good, right? I'm going to step away. I don't care that I lost today because it doesn't matter. There's not anything I'm missing out on, right? And that's what's kept people unprofitable. That's what kept me unprofitable for so long. Those were my main problems, right? Forcing things for social media, and then just forcing trades because I want to pass my eval, get funded, get a payout, right? And I still need to work on that because today was really hard for me to just sit here and be like patient and just say, you know what, it's not looking good, because I knew I had to come on here and think of something to say on this video, which I really think this was a good video to talk about. But again, I know it's gonna do worse than if I had a $1,000 day or $1,000 losing day, right? It's just how it goes. So I appreciate you guys tuning into the channel. Please use code Diego on Apex, My Funded Futures, and Alpha Futures. It really helps me out. I'm trying to see if I can get that to a steady point. Yeah, I mean, I kind of treat it as like a Patreon, right? It's how you guys help support this channel, and support me, because what's it called, man? I don't know. I just want to. I kind of want to always keep myself, like, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like a nice. I kind of blank on the thought process. Oh well, code Diego. Use it on those accounts. I really do appreciate you guys, because it's genuinely helping change my life. Right, a $2,000 a month last month online. I make about 1,500 from coaching soccer each month, so that's almost livable. Right? So I'm trying to get to that point where I can just survive. I mean, yeah, I want to make trading work, but if I can make social media help me make money, right, then it takes a little bit of the stress off my direct trading, right? Because, you know, we all want to succeed in life. We all want to make money. We all want to make a living wage. And you guys are giving me the opportunity through using my code. And I don't know how to thank you guys. And I don't know how to mention it without sounding like I'm begging. But again, I feel like it's just something to talk about in the video, because again, it's just advertisement. I don't know. I'm not the best at that. I'm not the best at social media. I don't know how to maximize it, and I'm trying to learn how to. I'm trying to learn how to do it better. So if I ever come across like I'm just begging, I mean, I am essentially, because it gives me money. So I guess it's kind of like the same thing. But I always say, you know, use whoever you want. If you enjoy my channel, if you enjoy my mission, which is just to show my journey start to finish, which I will do and keep doing and have been doing. I mean, we are doing something special here. We are doing something special here. I really do feel it. I mean, I can't explain it now, but I can see a crazy trajectory for this channel, right? I think it'll be something that will be, I think it'll be like just a beacon of hope for new traders someday to look and see, wow, this guy's doing $10,000 months just trading with proof, real proof, right? And look at all the years that he failed. And that's like what this is all about. It's bigger than me now, right? It started out as a journal. It still is a trade journal for me, kind of. But now it's bigger than that. I have a mission to prove trading's possible, because I was the biggest skeptic of trading, and still sometimes am. I'm like, I really don't like the industry. I really don't like some of the habits, or like the way that people do things in this space. And I don't know. I just wish there was someone doing what I'm doing, but really successful with it, right? Because I don't have the results yet to make kids get excited. But I know someday I will. So right now we're in the building period. And yeah, we just got to keep getting better, right? Today was a big improvement. I've been feeling so much more confident. And I hope you guys can just see the progress I've been making trading. I really do think I've been making a lot of progress trading. It's not been perfect. It won't be perfect, but we can make it as perfect as possible each and every day. So I don't know. Randomly, I just thought about this, man. But man, I miss Fortnite. I miss old Fortnite. I saw some rumors that they're gonna bring back the the holiday season 6 and season 7. 6, 7. They're gonna bring those back for the holidays, which will be pretty cool. I might have to get on there and play, but man, I miss just, you know what? I wish I didn't even. I wish I was still in 8th grade and I just played Fortnite every day after school and didn't trade and didn't worry about money. Life gets boring when you only think about money. And that's kind of something I think that's what the nostalgia of Fortnite. I'm looking at my Xbox over here. Haven't touched that thing in months. It's just like, dude, I used to love playing some video games, but there's just nothing cool to play at all. Like what am I gonna play? And it also just reminds you, man. There's been simpler times in life where you just, I don't know. It's like it's kind of boring to only think about money, man. All I'm thinking about, man, is money and trading, and it's just kind of like, man, there's so much more to life than just money and trading. So I guess that's where I'll leave you guys, right? Tell somebody you love them, right? Again, like I said, there's more to life than money and trading. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Appreciate all you guys. Did you guys take a trade today? Let me know in the comments. How did you guys do? I'll actually be impressed if some of you guys won today or got like a fat win, because I couldn't see anything, right? If even right off open, like I'm not taking anything here. So if you guys had a fat winning day today, congratulations to you guys, because you're better than me. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.